guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's the Ion TV. We are back guys with a brand new financial video guys. We're going to look at investment guys. We're going to mainly focus on Zambia and we're going to at least try to compare Zambia with other African countries, but most likely Morocco. And this time around we're more familiar with the Moroccan economy. Morocco is one of the fastest growing economies in Africa, and it's one place or one country or one kingdom we can say to learn from as Zambia. So guys, we're going to look at how best to invest in Zambia. We as the Zambian youth, we as the upcoming future leaders of tomorrow, we're going to look at sectors in which best we can invest, in which best we can put in our resources to uplift our country. Our country's economy right now isn't doing so fine. We've got a lot of debt, as a lot might know, and we're trying to work on this, trying to find solutions on how best we can tackle this debt. This debt is not a short-term thing, it's a long-term thing. It's going to affect us, probably our children and our grandchildren, our children's children. So it's something which we have to bring in ideas, we have to think about a lot of things as future leaders, as Zambian youths, on what we can do and how best we can invest more in our country. We can put in more in our country. We can bring in more foreign exchange in our country. We can try to make our currency a more prosperous currency and a more attractive currency per se. So guys, first of all, we're trying to understand what investments are. So investments is one thing that's vital in a country's economy. A country's economy has to determine what type of investment they are going to tackle. There are quite a number of investments. We can invest in something that is going to bring you income, or you can invest in just something that, like, let me say, roads. We can invest in something that, let's say, energy, something you should know will bring you income in a later stage. That's a long-term investment. We can give examples of investments in agriculture, in infrastructure, in mining. Zambia is a mining giant in Africa. So we can look at all those aspects of investment, but today we are mainly going to focus on what we the youths we can bring to the table, what type of investments we the Zambian youths we can work on and we can try to improve on. And we will also look at the alternatives, because a lot of people are going around like doing the same things, but let's try to also look at the alternatives. What other things can we invest in as Zambian youth? What other things are important to Zambia, rather than just the normal usual maize type of farming in terms of agriculture? Let's try to look at other alternatives. What other things can we do? What other alternatives can we do to reduce the prices of those things that already exist? In short, what are we trying to diversify our economy? What are we trying to diversify our products? So guys, here a junior economist known as Davis Chama is going to join us here. Monsieur Davis, okay. So Davis Chama is going to join us here and help us at least analyze the Zambian economy, talk about investment. We as Zambian youths, we can at least try to see. So Mr. Davis, welcome to the Ion TV.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor to be part of this platform and hello viewers, and look forward into getting that to this point.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Davis. We know, yes, in Morocco it's a French-speaking country, so you can also include some French. I'm pretty sure my viewers will be interested in at least getting to know a bit of French as we go on. So, Mr. Davis, investments in Zambia. We know Zambia is a developing country. It's a young population. We all know that. But debt has crippled Zambia for quite some time now, and this debt is affecting us right now. We're feeling the impact, but will affect us, our children, and the future children you're going to have. That is, you're going to have children. that's just a joke, but yes. So what type of investments? Okay, let's talk about agriculture. What type of investments can you encourage our young generation to more focus on? What type of investments, or even like what type of reforms can the government put in place to support our youth in this sector, the agriculture sector?
Well, as you brought out, the aspect of debt is very, very interesting and somewhat an issue which is pretending, or rather which is a speculative purple. And yeah, concerning the debt crisis, which I think most of us are aware, the debt was known and declared by the government sum of $12 billion, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, we can say that I know there have been issues of debt restructuring and trying to set up some sort of platforms or arrangements with the IMF in how they can restructure the debt and pay it back. So, well, I feel like it's very important for us to be able to also highlight, or rather, trace it back to how we arrived at this point, because at the end of the day, if you're trying to tackle a certain issue, you have to be able to, or rather, you have to familiarize yourself with how you arrived at a certain point for you to tackle that. So, as we go on, I think we'll be able to discuss more of the debt and connecting it back to the investment aspect and the potential that the agriculture sector has for us as Zambians, specifically the youth.
Because one can say in the early 2011s, 2012, there was a thing about where the may so rest in peace, the former president of Zambia, Mr. Michael Chimifyasata, brought about cutting some subsidies. We thought that would grow Zambia's economy, that would increase more revenue for the government in order to directly invest into Zambia's economy. But rather, we've seen the opposite of that happen. So what is your view on that? Because that money was supposed to be invested. That money was supposed to be the more money in your pockets for the Zambians.
Well, I won't really do much about the political aspect concerning the matter at hand. I would rather focus on the economic aspect of what it means for us as Zambians. I feel like, the whole issue of the debt that is pertaining, because most of it, if I'm not mistaken, it's that which was taken for the purpose of revamping the Zambia rail system of Zambia, the Zambia rail system, and we can see that the Eurobond was taken up, which was expected to mature by 2021, and we can see that also some loans or debt which were obtained from China also came into the aspect. Then coming to the issue of investment, I feel like Zambia's vast potential of investment opportunities, which we fully utilize to advantage. And, for instance, one aspect which again we tackle is aspect of agriculture. Zambia is an area which is endowed with a beautiful geographical location. As we can see that
regions.
As we can see that in comparison, for instance, in comparison to Morocco receives about 750 liters of rain per year, and we can see that Zambia receives about 1,400 to 1,500 liters of rain. But finding ourselves in a situation like yesterday, I was reading an article about Zambians entrepreneurs in the poultry businesses expect higher prices of chicks, about 15 to 16 quarts of a chick, and the prices of feed and so on are going up. So we're looking at a country which is blessed with such a tremendous amount of rainfall, about 1,500 milliliters of rain, in comparison to another country, on the other hand, which is receives about 750 milliliters of rain.
It's and desert.
Exactly, and you find that Morocco is able to utilize its potential to its maximum capacity, and it's rare you hear of heights in the poultry industry, chicks being expensive, feed, so forth and so on. So I feel like there are a lot of opportunities which are there to, of course, there are already people working day and night to be able to meet up to the Zambian demand, but I feel like there's still much that can be done, and especially as the youth, farming is something that we should look into going and perhaps venture into.
And don't you think, due to the increase in prices, let's say in chicks, in chickens, in various commodities such as tomatoes, onions, and stuff like that, don't you think there's a lack of competition, lack of investment on the provider or the furnitur's part? Don't you think that's the case? Because if there are a lot of producers of such things,
prices have at least gone down. But seeing the less and less people who are interested in investing in such things, prices are like
well, we can say that to some extent that is true because as well aware, we are hit. We're not the only country was hit with the pandemic. Many other countries were hit, but countries are recovering, and we have to look also at the economic state of our country pre-pandemic and post-pandemic. So you find that Zambia to some extent was struggling even before the pandemic hit us, but it really crippled us to an extent. We're finding that the rate of inflation are about 26%. And yesterday I was just reading the quota of the monetary committee of the Bank of Zambia. They're saying they expect the inflation rate to be above the 6 to 8% higher bound. So we can see that these are issues which are not really going away anytime soon. So I think the first and most important thing for us is there's a problem which we are facing. So the most important thing is for you to be able to stop bleeding. Before you drink the water, you have to stop bleeding. So those are issues that we need to tackle. And we talked about the issues of supply, and demand. It is true. Maybe the markets might be in some sectors might be monopolized, and hence you find that economics 101, you talk about if the market players are not that many, at the end of the day they end up setting the price. They're the price determinants and not the price takers. So which is the case which we are seeing in especially the poultry industry, which is greatly affecting the daily lives of the Zambians. As we can see that from 2014 to 2021, if we look at the GDP per capita, which is the household income, it's greatly deteriorated from about 1,250 per capita income to about the expected 2021 per capita income is I think about $921. So all those are aspects that you have to take into consideration. And what does that mean for an average Zambian? It means there's less purchasing power to that amount of money compared to the purchasing power that the same amount of money had, let's say back in 2015.
Okay, that's very interesting.